How many times did you check your phone today? Seriously. Before you even got out of bed, during meals, in the middle of conversations, maybe even right before you clicked on this video. The average person checks their phone 96 times a day. That's once every 10 minutes. And your brain, specifically your dopamine system, is paying a very real price for that. But here's what nobody in the tech world wants you to know. Islam solved this problem 1,400 years before Silicon Valley created it. Today, we're talking about the digital fast, and why it might be the most important thing you do for your brain this year. Welcome back to Path to Islam. I'm Mohammed, and this channel exists to help you understand Islam at a real, deep level. Not just rules and rituals, but the wisdom behind them, the reasons they work, the science that confirms what the faith already knew. Today's topic is one I feel personally. I've been there, hooked on the scroll, distracted during prayer, unable to sit in silence without reaching for my screen. And it was Islam, specifically, the principles behind Islamic fasting, that gave me the framework to fix it. Let's get into it. First, let's be clear about what we're dealing with. Dopamine is a brain chemical. Most people call it the pleasure chemical, but that's not quite right. Dopamine is actually the craving chemical. It's what drives you to seek and chase, not what makes you satisfied. And your phone is a dopamine machine. Every notification is a little hit. Every scroll is anticipation of a reward. Every like is a social validation spike. The apps on your phone were designed, deliberately, by teams of behavioral scientists, to trigger these dopamine loops over and over. The infinite scroll was designed so your brain never gets a clear, "that's enough" signal. The notification sounds were tuned specifically to maximize your urge to check. The like counter was hidden and revealed, the same psychological trick used in slot machines. This is not an accident. This is the business model. And the result? A generation with shattered attention spans, anxiety that never fully goes away, and an inability to sit in silence for more than 2 minutes. Now here's where it gets interesting. Islam has a concept called Nafs. It refers to the self, the ego, the part of you that is always craving more. More food, more comfort, more entertainment, more stimulation. The Nafs is not inherently evil, but it is inherently hungry. And if you don't discipline it, it will run your life. Islamic spiritual training is largely the project of mastering the Nafs. Not destroying desire, but governing it, ensuring that you are in control of the craving, not the craving in control of you. And the greatest tool Islam gives for this? Fasting. Most people think of Ramadan fasting as not eating, but it's so much more than that. A fasting Muslim holds back from food, drink, idle talk, harmful content, and unnecessary entertainment. For 30 days, every time a craving arises, the answer is, not right now. Not because I can't, but because I choose not to. That is dopamine detox. Done with intention, discipline, and God in mind. Islam built it into the calendar every single year. So what does a digital fast actually look like when it's based on Islamic fasting principles? Here's the framework I use and teach. Step 1. Set your niyya, your intention. You are not putting your phone down because you feel like it. You are doing this deliberately to reclaim your focus, your peace, and your connection to what matters. Say it out loud. Write it down. Mean it. Step 2. Define your hudud, your boundaries. Islamic fasting has precise start and end times. Your digital fast needs the same. Maybe it's no phone before far prayer. No social media during work hours. Full phone fast after Isha prayer. Be specific. Vague commitments produce zero results. Step 3. Choose your badil, your replacement. When a fasting Muslim skips food, they fill the time with Quran, dhikr, and prayer. You can't just remove the phone without filling the gap with something real. Long-form reading, time with family, prayer, reflection, nature, something that actually nourishes your mind. Step 4. Do your muhasaba, your self-accounting. Every evening, ask honestly, when did I reach for the phone out of habit? Out of anxiety? Out of boredom? This self-awareness is not self-criticism, it's data, and data helps you improve. Now let's look at what happens to your brain when you do this. When you remove high-stimulation inputs consistently, notifications, social media, endless video, your dopamine receptors begin to upregulate. They become more sensitive again. This means that quieter, deeper pleasures, reading a book, having a real conversation, sitting in prayer, start to feel genuinely satisfying again instead of boring. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for focus, decision-making, and emotional regulation, gets stronger when it's not being constantly hijacked by reactive, dopamine-driven behavior. Your default mode network, the brain's rest and reflect system, gets the space to actually function. This is where creativity, self-understanding, and deep insight come from. It literally cannot operate when you're in constant stimulation mode. And your nervous system? It gets to return to baseline. The chronic, low-grade anxiety that most smartphone users carry around, that persistent sense of unease and distraction, begins to lift. This is not speculation. This is what neuroscience tells us happens when the brain gets a genuine break from the dopamine economy. Here's what no study can fully capture, though. The digital fast is not just a brain optimization strategy. It's a spiritual act. When you put the phone down with intention, when you say, I am choosing connection with God over connection with the algorithm, you are making a declaration about your values, about who is actually in control of your attention. Allah says in the Quran, and He found you wandering and guided you. 93:7. Wandering is a beautiful word for the scroll, the endless, aimless, purposeless movement from one piece of content to the next. The digital fast is how you stop wandering. It's how you return to stillness, to prayer, to the Quran, to yourself. The Prophet said, part of the perfection of someone's Islam is his leaving alone what does not concern him. Tirmidhi. Here's your challenge for this week. Pick 3 days. Any 3 days. Apply the 5 steps of the digital fast: intention, boundaries, replacement, self-accounting, and consistency. I promise you, it will feel like coming home. If this video gave you something useful, hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this. And share it with someone whose screen time report has been making them uncomfortable lately. At Path to Islam, this is what we do. Take the timeless wisdom of Islam and show you exactly how it applies to the world you're living in right now. Jazakum Allahu khairan. I'll see you in the next one.